Alright folks, today's courtroom is pure intensity. Meet Judge Virginia Chavez, a no-nonsense enforcer of justice who doesn't play favorites. This judge is known for her razor-sharp fairness and her zero tolerance for excuses. Watch closely, she's about to show why everyone calls her one of the toughest judges in the state.
All right, this is Virginia Chavez, 22T1470. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right. And then probation is here on this one. Okay, probation, want to tell me what's going on with Mrs. Chavez?
Yes, Ms. Chavez. Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to recommend, that we close it out unsuccessfully.
Okay, so looks like she did not submit to 26 UAs.
Correct.
She didn't get her treatment done. And she missed probation appointments. And she didn't report to sober living. Okay? And so you just want me to close it out with no?
With jail.
With jail.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And we have an agreement with the DA to revoke and close this unsuccessful with 60 days jail, and that's what Ms. Chavez would like to do today.
60 days of all of that. And this is the first?
I believe it is.
She's looking at up to 364 days of jail. She did not stay in communication with probation. She didn't do UA, which tells me she probably was under the influence. She didn't do any treatment. I mean, honestly, it usually takes at least 10 months to do the treatment that she was, actually more than 10 months. And she had level 2 and 86, which makes me think that this was not a first DUI.
This was a 2022 case, so this one's been going on for a while.
So the 22 case, we're now in 3 years later, and we're going to give her 60 days when she had essentially almost 3 years to get this done. I would commit a DUI if I could only get 60 days and I didn't do anything, and I didn't do UAs and I did nothing, and then I didn't go to sleep. I did nothing, and potentially was drinking and having a good time for 3 years.
But one good thing, she did complete her community service. She did that back.
She did community service. She had level 2 and 86.
I had no idea.
Community service was only 48 hours. You do community service in 48 hours, you're sweet. She didn't show up to probation, which is the easiest thing in the world to do. She didn't go to social living. She didn't do any treatment, and she didn't show up for a UA. And she gets 60 days? No, thank you. I'm not taking that. I do think jail is appropriate, but 60 days is not enough. Go back to the drawing table. Don't ask me about it. You leave it open to me, or you come up with something better than 60 days. But when you do all of that, which means you essentially did nothing, no. And it's 3 years old? No. 60 days not enough.
Your Honor, there's 2 updates I'd like to give you on this case. The defendant did have 1 prior DUI from 2017.
Oh, the first. Oh, no.
And her BAC, and the first one was .212. Also, she had 86 hours of UPS in this case.
Yep, no. Y'all go back to the drawing board. I'm not doing some case back for a second. And we didn't do nothing? Oh, no. Next, in custody. Have we figured something out?
Yes, Your Honor. I've spoken with Ms. Graham and Ms. Chavez, and we've come to an agreement to revoke and close unsuccessful with 300 days jail.
With who?
300 days.
That works. The court is accepting your admission to your violation of probation. Court is closing out your case unsuccessfully with 300 days of jail. So luck to you.
Did you catch that? The defendant had nearly 3 years to comply and still blew it off. The judge isn't just angry, she's exposing how the system bends over backward for people who don't take probation seriously. You can almost feel her disbelief turning into full-blown frustration as she lists every missed chance. And let's be honest. 60 days. That's basically a vacation after 3 years of ignoring the law.
What do you want to do, Mrs. Royer? Because you have a class 2 misdemeanor, so what do you want to do with that? How are you going to handle it? You going to represent yourself?
Yeah, I'm represent myself. Yeah.
Have you talked to the military about how this would impact you if you were convicted? Because it could end your career. You sure you don't want to get representation?
Yeah, I get representation. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, because I'm looking at you, and the reason I'm saying this to you, sir, is because my father was an officer in the military, and he was over a lot of airmen, and things like this can get you in your military career if it goes the wrong way for you. So I think you should probably apply for the public defender's office at the very least and find out if you qualify. Okay. Why did they do this case too? 25F5162.
I don't know.
You gotta understand why the division didn't handle all of her DD cases and wrap them all in deferred.
Your Honor, it's because they moved the case from the district court to here.
That makes zero sense to me. Because Division 1 should have handled all of her DD cases. All of those cases that she got the deferred sentence on were DD cases, probably involving the same victim. So it makes zero sense that she had a public defender, probably in felony court, that didn't get this case wrapped in with the other cases. That makes zero sense to me.
I'm not sure if she pled guilty.
She did plead guilty.
I don't know if it's a deferred sentence or not.
Yeah,
So that's what I don't understand. Like to me, it makes zero sense that she pled guilty on 3 DB cases literally this week, and they didn't take care of the last one.
I agree. And the notes say that we're on notice to address bond today in this case, in county court. I don't know.
This just doesn't make any, and is it the same victim on all 3 cases?
yes, Your Honor.
That's incompetence.
I'll talk to the DA in that division.
That's absolute incompetence on both sides. Miss Wool got screwed over.
We agree.
My branch.
They told me
But if they're going to give you and plead you on all your cases but at least one, and then have me handle it, that makes zero sense. But they're willing to give you their points on those. Then I don't know why they could just wrap this one in there too.
I don't believe it was a deferred sentence. Looking at the plea agreement right now.
It doesn't matter what it was. They should have wrapped this in it. It's incompetence. I'm giving you a PR bond. This is ridiculous.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Because it's just dumb. I'm gonna keep it real honest with you. You are young, okay? I like the fact that you've got a job set up, and I like the fact that you're going to school. What I don't like is that you're driving. It is clear to me, and it should be crystal clear to you, that you don't have a driver's license. You take a bus, an Uber, or get a ride. But if you get another case, understand, you will stay with us for a long time.
I understand that.
I will find you be, don't talk outside. I'm talking. I will find you be in direct contempt of a court order. And I will bring you in on contempt charges. And you will stay in custody. You understand me?
Boom, and just like that, 300 days in jail. That's the find out part of mess around and find out. Notice how quickly the tone shifts once the judge realizes the full record. This isn't about emotion anymore, it's about accountability. Judges love consistency, and this one just proved that second chances aren't free.
Couple of conversations I need to have. My first with you, Mrs. Walker. Ms. Walker, you have to control yourself. Okay? You cannot have these outbursts that you're having. I'm trying very much not to pay attention to you because I fear that if I pay attention to you, that I will draw attention to you that I don't want to draw. Okay? The jury is watching. You need to control yourself. Okay? If you cannot control yourself, Miss, I understand, Miss Walker. I understand. Miss Walker, I understand. Listen, Miss Walker, I understand that this is highly emotional for you, and there's a lot of emotions going on with you. But I am requiring for you to control yourself. If you cannot control yourself, then I will have to use other means, and I do not want to use those means to control you. Okay? So you're gonna have to control yourself. All right. So a couple of things I want to talk to you about before you take a lunch break. Before you go on a lunch break, it probably will be good for you to have a little lunch. Everybody have a seat. Let's have then our mix.
Yes, Your Honor. The people would be asking for the defendant to be remanded today for 60 days. Then we'd ask for 1 year of supervised probation with a mental health evaluation and substance abuse evaluation. We'd ask for the defendant to comply with recommendations from both evaluations. The defendant's behavior since the verdict over the last 15 minutes has been very concerning to the people. The defendant, I heard her say she said fuck, shit, goddamn 1,000 times. Not 1,000 times, but probably close to 100 times. She was yelling in the hallway. I asked counsel if they needed assistance with the deputy to help keep her under control. They said they didn't. She called the victim a bitch. She said, "Fuck that bitch." She also said, "Thank God my mom isn't here because I would have killed that bitch." The defendant's disrespect for this court and lack of remorse was concerning for the people. The victim is concerned for her own safety after this verdict. And so we also asked for a no contact order between the victim and the defendant. We are very concerned for the victim's safety and for the safety of this family.
Okay. And then, what's her criminal?
A controlled substance at 4, and I think she has a couple of misdemeanor convictions within the state. I can pull them up real quick, but I looked at them earlier today.
All right.
She has several charges for. Sorry, let me look it up.
All right. And Mrs. Taylor, did you want to address the court in any way as the alleged victim? You can come on out. The deputies are here, so you're safe.
Honestly, I just want my sister to get help. I don't want any contact with her or have her in close to my home or anything like that. I just want her to get help and to stay away from me and from my home and from my children, including my niece who's been living with me for 3 years.
Okay. And how old is your niece?
She's 19.
She's 19.
Well, she'll be 19 on
She'll be
October.
19.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And in terms of what you know about your sister, when you say she needs help, does she have like some mental?
I think it's undiagnosed, honestly. When she's not in this state of mind, she's like this sweet person, but then she just, anything sets her off, and it's a nonstop situation of calls, voicemail, text messages, not only to me, but to her own daughter, degrading, disrespect, threatening my life, disrespecting, threatening our lives, threatening my children's lives who are 8, 7, and 2. I work from home, and my husband's really scared to even leave because then it's like, how much?
Now this is rare, a judge openly calling out both sides for incompetence. You almost never see that in open court. Most judges would quietly fix the issue behind closed doors. But Judge Chavez? She's putting the entire system on blast, defending a defendant who got tangled in bureaucratic nonsense. It's moments like these that separate strict from fair.
Okay.
So that's what we're.
All right. I appreciate it. Thank you. Mrs. Jacobs, your argument? Mrs. Walker, I'll give you a chance to talk when I get there.
Okay, we'll
Yeah.
get there. So Miss Walker has been working at In-N-Out for about a year and also works at the Hilton. So she's working 2 jobs right now. She's been doing the Hilton for a couple of months. And she's still experiencing homelessness, but she's been trying really hard to get back on her feet. In-N-Out is willing to transfer her and help pay for moving expenses. So she's been hoping to keep up working both jobs for a while, and she's been saving. Because she does want to move away from this area and move away from the troubles she feels she's been experiencing with her family. It's my understanding that In-N-Out gave her the okay to move anytime, but she's been staying because she's been wanting to get this case resolved. So she's really hoping to get out of the area to be able to get her life on track, away from her family, and kind of start over. And jail would set her back in that progress that she's been making. I also believe jail is not warranted. I understand the jury found her guilty, but at the end of the day, this case was about a voicemail. She's not charged with and not convicted of a violent crime. And it seemed to have arisen from an argument over her daughter's care, who is now 18 years old and a legal adult. So I believe conflict over her daughter's care is unlikely to repeat itself since she's legally able to care for herself. I did not hear her say anything, any kind of threats about killing her mom, and I was sitting there in the hallway with her. So I don't know if she misheard it, but I don't think all of that was accurate. Okay. We are asking for a year of unsupervised probation with the mental health evaluation and treatment, which was the last offer on this case. And I believe based on our investigators' conversations with Ms. Taylor and with Ms. Walker's mom, and based on what Ms. Taylor said, I think help is really what her family was hoping for. So I think mental health is more appropriate. I believe asking for jail at this time after we went to trial is something of a trial tax in this situation. And so we are asking for just the probationary period and the mental health evaluation.
Yes, Your Honor. I just pulled up the defendant's record. She has 2 guilty pleas and violation of protection order in 2 different cases. They were felony cases, but they were reduced down to violation of protection order. She also has a guilty plea to an M1 menacing, and that's what I could find. I also heard the defendant say in the hallway that if she gets supervised probation, that she's leaving the state.
You can feel the tension in the air. This isn't scolding, it's a life lesson in real time. The judge's tone flips from authority to almost parental concern. She's basically saying, you've got potential, but one dumb decision could lock it all away. And when even the audience mutters, I understand you, that's when you know her words hit deep.
Mrs. Walker, anything you'd like to say?
I just think it's a bunch of BS because I called DHS and they were the ones who told me to keep calling until you go home for your daughter. I just got into a car accident September 1st. I found out that my Medicaid was out. So I needed my daughter's birth certificate, social security card, which my mom should not have had in the first place. I only gave it to my daughter so that she could get a job. That is the reason why I was called. I was not calling for any other issue. Not that I had a problem with her. I was specifically calling for my daughter's birth certificate and social security card. My family has been taunting me with my child for years. And they are doing that so that I can't spend time with my child. So to keep putting me in a worse situation, I just got a car. That's why my sister's here. Because in February, she's texting me. Oh, sorry. In May, let me sit next to you. My daughter's graduation, she sat right next to me. And she's here in August. So it's not, she was never scared, never afraid. They've always been in my face. It is me against them. And they are taunting me so that they can keep me away from my child. And I'm fed up with it. They have allowed my daughter to disrespect me. And when I go to them about it, it doesn't matter. But as soon as my daughter disrespects them, it's game time. So they allow my daughter to disrespect me and thought it was funny. That's what she's talking about. They're sitting up there right next to my daughter while she's calling me bitches and this and that because she's upset. And they're just laughing. We'll just see what she does. I called my sister specifically to get my daughter's birth certificate. Sorry.
She can answer. There's more.
To get my daughter's birth certificate and social security card so that we can get her Medicaid. Someone had just T-boned me, and I did not know that we did not have insurance. And I couldn't afford insurance at the time. So I slept in my car from September to November in pain with nothing. I couldn't even go to the doctor. So I'm working in pain after a car accident. I had no car, no nothing. So it was up to me if I was just going to sit there and die or get up and do something. And they keep taunting me. Every time I get a little bit ahead, let's do something else. Let's do something else. Let's do something else. Let's do something else. They had a graduation party with my daughter's father in, May?
Yeah.
They got it all on Facebook and everything like that, trying to taunt me. That's not okay. You're starting more problems. You're not scared. If you're scared, then you're scared. How are you scared and starting more stuff? And then I just seen them at Burlington. My mom was like, Chelsea. I turned my back towards her. She called my name again, and I gave her a hug. But it's lies. She's just here because she's not having a good day.
And here's where it all comes crashing down. The so-called Karen defendant is unraveling in front of the jury, interrupting, cursing, and losing composure. The judge's patience is hanging by a thread. You can practically see her thinking, one more outburst and it's over. The irony? In trying to prove her innocence, the defendant is proving exactly why she's on trial.